to see how difficult it is to perform under those stressful circumstances, I think is an important sharing between the community and law enforcement that needs to occur.
There's been a lot of public backlash on police use of force in deadly clashes with suspects, sparking protests and calls for reform all over the country. In fact, the city of Phoenix, just voted on an oversight committee for their police department tonight.
Right, so law enforcement agencies want the public to understand things from their perspective as well. So today, agents with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms walked us through what their jobs entail and explained why some incidents do end with deadly force. Here's Max Gordon.
It's a choice no officer wants to make.
Get on the ground! They're literally putting their lives on the line for the benefit of their community.
The choice of whether or not to use deadly force.
Officers are going to always be focused on their safety and the safety of others when they make these decisions and reactions in regards to use of force.
And it's a decision that sometimes needs to be made in the blink of an eye.
Right now I'm about to participate in what's known as the Milo simulator. It creates a realistic situation that an officer might find themselves in out in the field, and test their decision-making when it comes to use of force.
Using a fake handgun and a screen, ATF agents ran me through a scenario involving a woman and a suspect with a knife.
Sir, put down the knife! Put down the knife!
A fake situation that still felt very real. And ended with deadly force after the suspect with the knife charged.
You were aimed in, and as soon as he started to move, you fired. Great job.
Today, I made the right move, though the real world isn't so clear-cut.
This is where you see the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, and the Fourth Amendment all converging.
Department of Justice policy on use of force is ambiguous in many of the terms it uses. Individual departments each have their own policies, and whether or not it's reasonable for an officer to use deadly force often depends on existing case law, which is constantly evolving.
It's extremely important that officers go through this training. From the onset to the academy, to when they retire, there's going to be an evolution of law, evolution of practice.
There have been changes in the way use of force training is done.
I think that there's been a large emphasis placed on de-escalation, a large emphasis placed on less lethal options available to officers.
Though at this training, agents didn't want to go into why on a national level, African Americans and Latinos are more likely to be shot to death by police, according to federal statistics.
I think there's a lot that goes into that. I will tell you the number one issue that goes into decision making on the part of an officer is the behavior of the individual that they're dealing with, period.
An emphasis that every situation is different with a different officer and a different suspect.
Officers are only one half of the equation. There's also the individual that they're dealing with.
But the main similarity in all deadly use of force incidents is that the choices made on either side can change lives forever. Max Gordon, Arizona's Family.